Okay, I decided to stroke my own ego because normally I only play one game a day now, but the first game did not go well. I'm just gonna go to that and I'll show you, and I'll just count this one as a review. Normally I'm pretty good in this opening, and I kind of just didn't do well. So let's go back. Game review. This sort of just started off kind of sloppy. That's not a terrible move. But then you can see that I just kind of start making like less than ideal moves. Like this was a complete waste of tempo. And all these other moves are not, I don't think they're that bad. Or rather, they wouldn't have been game-changing per se had I not just now been down like at this point 2 whole pieces. So you can see that I played around the level that I'm supposed to be rated at, and normally I am trying to chalk this up a little bit to not warming up. Normally I play puzzles first, warm up a little bit with some puzzles or whatever, and I just kind of didn't do that. I just jumped right into a game. And I really didn't feel like this was a representative sort of game of how I've been doing. And not that I don't mind posting a loss, but I felt like after the game, I still felt like I could actually play. So this was the second game that I played. I actually played 3 games today. Because I did have the mental energy to do it. That first game, I wasn't really awake. This one is kind of funny because I actually felt like I was doing pretty well. And it turns out we were just both playing poorly. So, on track. I keep looking over at here to make sure that the mic is working now. But, so it's just kind of funny. I don't really know any serious openings with black. I know that, the Caracan I'm sort of aware of or whatever, but I'm not really, I'm not like well versed in the lines of black. So here you can see that was just a blunder. I really just didn't, or it's not a blunder, sorry, a miscalculation. So it's interesting. So this was the inaccuracy here, which basically forced this. So this was a good decision to take, but in my head I'm like, okay, 1, 2. I didn't really count the queen as an attacker, but doing this obviously opens the queen up for attacking. And then there's only 1, 2 defenders, so there'd be 3 attackers. So that was just poor decision making. So I said, how do I counterattack that? It's interesting here. They said I should have just taken and said fuck it, because I guess you take here. Maybe he takes back with the knight, and then I take the queen, and it's still a check. I'll have to come back here and do an actual review. It's interesting that he didn't want me to. It's interesting that they wanted me to threaten the bishop instead of put it in check. And it's funny. I think we just keep blundering here. I wonder if they would have had me castle. Nope. Oh, okay. Oh, and then I would have just I would have been up pieces, but I would have been down. I would have been up a pawn and essentially up a pawn and everything. So why is this eval still? Yeah. I guess it's low. I guess this must just be some kind of artifact issue. But regardless, I didn't play that. Yeah, this was just kind of sloppy, but I'm kind of proud of this checkmate. So at this point I knew, all right, I knew that this was like a trap, all these checkmate puzzles I've been doing, I knew something was up. So I knew, like, if I go here, he has to step this way. So in my head, I'm like, you'll see this next rook move I'm setting up this. That's all I'm setting up. I really didn't think about anything else. When I did here, I said, obviously I can't go there. And I was like, there's got to be a way. So I knew, this is, and so basically I just saw this and I said, okay, any check that doesn't lose the piece that is checking the king is a checkmate. And sure enough, played like a 550 allegedly. I don't think this is a 550 thing. I think I had a good opening and just played a dirt poor middle game, and there probably wasn't enough moves. Like they said, I think I played a little better than a 550, but who really even knows what this means? And so for the third game, I felt really warmed up at this point. I felt like, I'm actually seeing stuff. I'll close those after. So I get white again. And basically, I knew this queen move. The computer says it's only slightly better for white. But in my head, I'm like, almost no one defends this pawn. Or, almost everyone defends this pawn with the lower, piece. So they'll do like this, or they'll do this, or they'll even do this. So I'm like, put a little pressure on the queen because she can't take the knight here. So I was like, okay, free pawn. And like, okay, another free pawn. Okay, another rook. And then this was basically like, I just cannot blunder. Here, my actual goal was to go here and threaten the queen, but he then moved the queen. You can see here, and then I said, all right, give me a trade. I guess this also could have worked, because I guess this makes sense, because he has to go one way or the other, because if he takes, it's queen is check. But I really wanted to keep this rook free. That was my main goal. So I was like, okay, fair enough. Then when he didn't do a check of his own or block a check, I was like, okay, I guess basically always put in check. Now here, I guess this threatens the queen with a lower cost piece, which is fine. But I think the psychology of having a queen knocking on your front door is really strong. So here, almost every move I made, I felt like, okay, yeah, so here, almost every move I made, I was like, I'm safe. Like, I had a really good board vision for some reason during this game, where I was like, as long as I don't go in the dark squares, or here, or here, I felt like really safe. So here, I actually did contemplate taking the rook. But again, what my issue was queen freedom. So I'd much rather have my queen more active, just me personally. So and here you can see I basically just ice skated around. And as long as you keep putting threats, I think Magnus Carlsen said that. As long as you just keep threatening, eventually they're gonna blunder. And you can see here I played well into the thousands. I feel really good about this game. And I think this is more representative of how I've been. So, obviously everyone has bad games, everyone warms up and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a bit of an ego stroke, but what have you.